Hello, everyone. I just want to thank you for joining us today for the webinar. My name is James Stringer. I'm the Business Relationship Manager here at DataSand. And for today's webinar, we've got a talk presented by Luke Trombley from ClearH2O. To introduce Luke, he is the Vice President of Sales and Marketing at ClearH2O. He joined ClearH2O in 2024, and prior to joining has spent 20 years in the companion pet space in both companion nutrition at the Royal Canin Veterinary Diets and in veterinary diagnostics with Index Laboratories. A little bit of housekeeping before we start. We do have a £50 raffle today, and if you stay until the end, you'll be automatically enrolled into that, and we'll announce the winner at the end of the call. We do encourage questions today. You can place those in the chat box at various points throughout the webinar. There are some interactive sessions to give some answers to Luke's presentation. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Luke and I will catch up with you at the end.
Excellent. Thanks, James. I appreciate the kind introduction, and thank you to the DataSand team and you all for joining here today. I'm really excited here to meet with you all, talk to you a little bit about ClearH2O, some of the products that are, a few of these have been around for a bit, and others are newer to the portfolio of ClearH2O and tools in your toolbox to leverage in your research as you move forward. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about smart nutrition and hydration and, some of the innovative approaches that we've taken here over the last couple of years. For me, I'm excited to sit here and chat with you all. As James had shared with you, I spent 20 years in the companion pet space. And so for the last year and a half to almost 2 years now, I've learned a lot about the research space. And it's exciting to be able to provide some solutions that will help you all in the research that you're doing. I'm going to give you a little bit of background on ClearH2O. For many of you, you're familiar with our product line, but I'll give you a little bit of behind the curtain as to who we are and kind of how we came about. We'll talk a little bit about breeding and weaning products, foraging, which is lab gel forage product, which is the newest product in our portfolio. And we'll touch briefly on some home cage water solutions and where ClearH2O is going, what we've had in the works over the last couple of years. Of course, at the end, we'll have some time for Q&A. And as James had mentioned, should you have any questions along the way, please pop those into the chat. And I look forward to hearing all your feedback along the way. So about ClearH2O, we've been around. We just hit our 20-year anniversary, which is exciting for us as a company. It's been 20 years in the life sciences, animal nutrition space for us. And, at the end of the day, we predominantly work within the laboratory research space. And we also have some products that are in the animal agriculture, particularly within poultry. And we're dipping our toes into the swine market, supporting those with gel solutions as well. Our technology and sort of who we are, how we came about is, we're a gel a hydrocolloid gel formulation company. At its core, that's what our strengths are. We can make products, as you're familiar with, products like hydrogel that are more like a jello consistency and firm up and can be utilized in that fashion, all the way to something like a metagel sucralose, which is a little bit more viscous and liquid in function. So when you think about our product line, there's a whole range of viscosities of gels, and our ability to move those up and down along that spectrum is really what has allowed us to be able to develop and continue to add new products to the line along the way. Our history comes from the human space. We are food grade, FDA inspected in the United States, and we go through what is called safe quality food inspection every single year. Proud to say that for the second year in a row, we're one of 2% of companies that have scored a 100 with respect to quality and manufacturing processes. So it's something that's very important to us. We take very, very, very seriously because it's important to the research that you all are doing. When I mentioned that we came from the human space, 20 years ago, prior to 2005, the owners of ClearH2O worked with sauces and jellos and jellies and things that you might find at the local grocery store. That understanding of technology, that understanding of gel creation sort of evolved into this space, and we've been able to bring that expertise, and that's why we've been able to make so many great products along the way. Our products live predominantly within the hydration space and the nutrition space. We do have some medication delivery capabilities as well, whether that's metagel sucralose, which some of you have known for quite some time, or products like 93M or Boost, where you can mix in medications as well. At the end of the day, our goal, our function is to ensure that we're supporting the three R's in research and with specific focus at the refined stage. Everything that we're doing with respect to hydration solutions and nutritional product development is in that spirit of keeping animals in good health, minimizing pain and distress, and in furthering your research along the way. To the point that we can do anything else, along there, we're open-minded. So if there are ever ideas around products from a development capacity that you had, by all means, please feel free to reach out to ClearH2O at any time. If there's something that we can do to help you within this space, keeping animals in good health, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always open ears when it comes to that and from a development perspective. So one of the things that I mentioned previously is that we are high quality food grade ingredients. Essentially what that means is that when we say food grade, I mean, if you're really hungry and you're feeling like a Clear H2O boost or whatnot, it's something you want to try, by all means go for it. What I mean by that is the manufacturing quality that we take to this is second to none, and it allows us to ensure that we're providing good quality products to you all. We say we're highly palatable. At the end of the day, we can make great products left and right, but if these animals that you're working with are not going to consume the product, then it's not helpful. So we spend a lot of time ensuring that we really nail the palatability. That's not to say that every single animal is going to consume our product, because of course there are various stages and challenges that you'll endeavor, but within almost every single case, we have a primary recommendation, and then there are other options that we can utilize if palatability ever becomes a challenge. So if you're ever curious about what product to utilize, if you're ever curious if, is there something else that we could try, there are various palatability options and different products that, we could flex into if you ever run into a palatability challenge. We don't use any binders, starches, or fillers. And when we say we use only plant-based hydrocolloids, what I want to clarify is we don't use gelatin or animal proteins in our gel base. Now, of course, there are products that we utilize animal proteins for because, that's required for the composition of that. We'll talk about one of those, which is prenatal today, as well. And I think one of the things that, you know, our customers really do appreciate is we're aware of the requirements for storage. So all of our products, when it comes to our gel-based products and our water-based products, are room temperature storage with no refrigeration necessary. 24-month shelf life provides you the ability to hold on to that product, utilize it, ensure you're not wasting product along the way. In everything that we do from a Clear H2O perspective, we're trying to keep our products ready to use. As little mixing as possible, convenient packaging. Those are our goals when we think about user experience. So that's why we've utilized that cup design for the last 20 years. That's why we've utilized our pouch design for the last 20 years, because it's quick and easy. And we'll continue to utilize that focus keep that focus as we move forward. We've been utilized, worldwide. When it comes to the leading breeders, pharmaceutical companies, research institutions, Clear H2O has set the bar when it comes to product development and use globally. So we're excited and proud of the fact that these products have continued to be a successful solution in this space. Now, we are going to talk in a moment about some specific products that, you may find beneficial in your portfolio, in your toolbox when you think about the work that you're doing. But I do want to just take a moment to take a step back and talk about diet gels in general and some usage instructions. And because we get a lot of questions about, well, how much should I utilize? When should I replace it? And the short answer is all research is different. And there are going to be scenarios where cups will last you a little bit longer or might work a little bit quicker. Your feedback and your experience may be slightly different than others, but there's some general guidance that we can provide to you. One diet gel cup is typically going to be enough for 2 rats or 5 mice for 2 days. Generally speaking, we've seen longer and we've seen shorter, of course. We do recommend to change it every 2 or 3 days. And the reason for that is because over time, we'll typically get some bedding mixed in with it. It may not be as palatable or as easy to access. And in that case, remove that cup or that product and put some new product in. But you should use a visual check on your own to determine whether or not they're still accessing it, have the ability to consume. In the case of prenatal, which we will talk a little bit about today, We do recommend providing it when the breeding pair is set up and through weaning to help from an acclimation perspective. When this process is utilized, we've seen really, really great results. Now, there's some listed applications here. You all are using some, are participating in some level of these, but there are a number of other applications. We didn't list them all here, but whether that's post-op or post-irradiation, pups, runts, weanlings, aged mice, malocclusions, immunodeficient strains, these are areas where ClearH2O products have continued to be utilized along the way. So one of the topics that we were going to talk a little bit about today is breeding and weaning support. And the reason why I wanted to get into this is because this is a topic that most institutions are engaged in on some level or have throughout the course of research has been part of their requirement. It's also a product line when I speak about prenatal that has continued to grow rapidly from a usage perspective because the results have been so significant along the way over the course of the last 5 or 6 years. So James had mentioned in the beginning, we'd love to get some feedback from you all. In the chat box, if you don't mind, just take a moment and share with us with the group, what are some of the top challenges you face when setting up and maintaining a breeding pair? And I'll give you a moment just to fill that chat in. And James, if there's anything that you could share from feedback, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'll share some of our thoughts as well.
There's no answers yet, but we'll give a couple more minutes.
All right. So quite often we see some similar challenges from institution to institution, and I'll share with you some of the feedback that we found, with some of the surveys that we've done. And if there are no additions just yet, we can move on to the next piece. All right. Here are some of the things that we have, found over the course of the years in a study that we did in 2019. When we asked the group, what are the most significant overall breeding difficulties experienced? Poor mating and small litters were the top two. Non-productivity was another one that was very close. But I think that, if you reflect on some of the breeding and weaning challenges, poor mating, small litters, barbering, fighting, non-productivity, across the board, almost all respondents identified some challenges along the way. And when those challenges come into play, we need to look at other solutions and ways that we can help address some of those. Some of that can be addressed through nutritional solutions like a prenatal product. As you can see, very few customers, there are some of our customers that have said, we don't run into any challenges with respect to breeding. But if that's the case, fantastic. If there are those challenges, well, what can we do? What could we reach for? How might we be able to help support that along the way? So I mentioned to you diet gel prenatal, and so prenatal, if you're currently using it, you have found it's a fantastic solution in this particular space. It contains flax seeds, omega-3s, and iron to support breeding and nursing dams, which at the end of the day means that we have enhanced maternal nutrition, we help reduce pup loss and improve litter outcomes, and supporting energy needs while without replacing the standard diet. So, of course, this is a supplement in nature. It's not designed to be to replace diet, but again, when paired early along the way, supplement that feeding along. It's a relatively caloric dense product, as you can see, high in protein, carbohydrates, and sugars to help provide the energy that's needed through that process. And what I found to be interesting, in the study that we did in 2019 is, we saw improvements in all spaces. When you look at time to first litter, we saw a reduction compared to control. When you look at the number of pups per litter, our control averaged 6.7 born and 5.9 weaned. And then when supplemented with diet gel prenatal, that went from 6.7 up to 8.4, born and then weaned from 5.9 to 7.7. So we're talking about a pretty significant improvement in simply the number of pups per litter. When we think about the weights that were gained, additionally, we see marked improvement between the control and diet gel prenatal. Between week 1, 2, and 3, you're going from an average of 3.2 to 3.8, 6.3 to 7, and then again, when we look at that 21-day, 7.6 to 9.55, we're looking at a pretty significant improvement along the way. And lastly, breeding females weight gains. Again, when you're looking at control versus diet gel prenatal usage, we see an improvement along the way. So however, whatever challenges you may be faced when it comes to breeding, weaning, diet gel prenatal has proven over the course of the last 5 years, it's both through study and then from anecdotal feedback from our customers, that it's been a really nice inclusion to the protocol that's being utilized within the institution. So if you're not currently using prenatal and you are involved in breeding, weaning, this is certainly something that I'd strongly recommend to consider as part of the process in your protocol. The second product line that I wanted to provide an update on is this foraging and enrichment product line. This is something that enrichment over the course of the last couple of years, not a couple of years, it's really gotten a lot of attention and intention over the last decade, I'd say. Over time, we look at what are the ways that we can help improve that enrichment situation. How can we help encourage a better environment along the way? And the result is nutritional inclusions like seeds, fruits, vegetables, oftentimes are added into that cage. And we thought to ourselves, well, how do we help bring some of that thought process into a product that is inclusive, in that gel cup that's easy to utilize, peel the top, and it's ready to go. And that's where our product Lab Gel Forage Seeds was born. Lab Gel Forage Seeds is, essentially our electrolyte base that you see with things like Recovery. It's very similar to our Recovery base, but it's infused with seeds and oats. So this is really a hydration supplement with inclusions that those rodents have the ability to navigate, pick at, identify the seeds and things that they want to consume, push those away that they don't. It still comes in our 2-ounce cup, and so it makes it really easy for administration. We have a 12-month shelf life for this particular product simply because it's new and we need to continue to do it a longer shelf life studies to get us out to that 24-month. But it's a fantastic solution to support that enrichment protocol that you're looking to develop, or at least fit into your enrichment protocols that you have now. I'm going to share with you a brief video that you can find on our website. If you go to ClearH2O.com, we have a number of resources in our resource library, and then you can also navigate through to find these resources just under our animal research tab. Our Lab Gel Forage product is highlighted on the left, but any of the products here you can click on and find additional resources, videos, supporting documents and research as well. So our goal at ClearH2O is to have our website be our hub for all the resources that you may need to or want to utilize along the way. So I'm going to share with you just a couple of minutes of this video. We'll not go through the whole thing, but I would recommend we'll share with you the link to this video. As you have time and an opportunity, take a moment to review this video. I think it'll be helpful for your understanding of how it's utilized and the purpose. So I'll go ahead and push play here. We'll watch a few minutes of this and then I'll transition back.
At ClearH2O, we're dedicated to enhancing the well-being of research animals and making husbandry easier for the teams that support them. That's why we developed our new Lab Gel Forage product line, an enrichment dietary supplement specifically designed to engage animals with their natural foraging instincts. Lab Gel Forage combines hydration, nutrition, and enrichment to address both physical and behavioral needs for various species. By offering animals the opportunity to explore and interact with their food, Lab Gel Forage not only promotes better welfare by encouraging species-typical behavior, but also supports more reliable research outcomes. LabGel Forage offers 3 unique.
So this video will take about 5 minutes, and it'll go through all the products that we have available to us. Go back to here, or available to you, I should say. With respect to our LabGel Forage line. We have two primary products in LabGel Forage. One, as you saw in the video, is our seeds base, as I mentioned previously. The other one is our Forage Fusion. Forage Fusion is designed for primates, and you saw that video of the gel cup that was, excuse me, the gel product that was removed from the cup and provided to the primate in that video there. This both of these products have received incredibly strong feedback from consumers and researchers that are finding or looking for those ways to how do I get them engaged or provide additional enrichment to these animals throughout this research. Raisins, sunflower seeds, oats, carrots, banana puree. They provide the base and those inclusions for them to move in and out. And one of our customers that we had spoken with prior to ALAS last year is Dr. Timonen at the University of Saskatchewan. She utilized this product, provided us some feedback about what that experience looked like. And in the case of Dr. Timonen, she was utilizing this product with rats. I'll give you a moment to read through that. But as you can see, there's a moment or, an adoption moment of, hey, what is this? What's this all about? And then instantly, they start picking away at the things that they like and things that they don't like. So this is a new product for us. We launched at ALAS about a year ago, and across the board, we're getting sample requests left and right, and folks that are finding different unique ways to utilize these as well. With primates, we're seeing the product utilized on smear boards. We're seeing the product utilized in Kongs or other enrichment devices in conjunction with that environmental enrichment. In the case of rodents, we're seeing that, as you saw in the video and see on this image here, the cup is just placed in, and then they're kind of picking through what they like and what they don't like. I spoke with a veterinarian at the University of California, Los Angeles, and they had shared with us that, in the case of their rodents, they were actually picking through, consuming all of the sunflower seeds and oats and whatnot, and pushing all of the flax seeds to the side. And at the end of the day, she was really excited to say that, because that is ultimately what we're trying to do, is provide that nutritional, electrolyte bit gel base, those enrichment products. And then if there are things that are not wanted to be consumed, the idea of engaging them and moving those things around throughout the cup helps to provide that. So great feedback so far about these products that have launched. You'll notice we did launch initially with 3 products. We had the forage seeds, we had the forage veggies, and fusion. We no longer offer the forage veggies simply because the use case for it wasn't as strong as that it was for fusion. So fusion is utilized for primates and rabbits, guinea pigs. Seeds is utilized predominantly for rodents. It's not to say they can't be interchanged, but of course, we're trying to align those formulations to be in line with species-specific preferences. And the last piece I wanted to share with you all is around home cage water solutions. Now, this is a departure from what you're familiar with from ClearH2O. ClearH2O, when you think ClearH2O, you think gel products, hydrogel, Metagel sucralose, diet gel, lab gel forage, all of those products within that portfolio that have a gel base. About a few years ago, actually during COVID, there was a strong need for water solutions. Folks were reaching out to us, hey, do you have any other just pure water that we could look to incorporate? Understanding our name, understanding our background, our quality control process, they naturally came to us and said, what can you make for us? And so we went ahead and developed a pouched water solution. Now, when you think about vivarium water solutions and considerations, every laboratory is going to have different requirements, different responsibilities when it comes to, or requirements when it comes to number of cages, number of mice, infrastructure, etc. Automatic, there are 3, I would say, predominant, as you're aware of, systems. Automatic watering systems, which oftentimes we'll see in very large vivariums and institutions, or with new project work that's being done. I'd say the majority, my understanding is, through all the feedback and consumer research we've done, is traditional water bottles still represent about 70% the utilization for water within the vivarium. And then the third one is around water pouches. And water pouches, there are other companies on the market that have water pouches. ClearH2O has stepped into this space over the last couple of years, and it's really taken off substantially. Now, for those of you that are on this call that utilize automated water systems or water bottles, the next piece may not be as immediately impactful for you or as interesting, but I do want to just take a moment to talk about those water pouches, not in the immediate sense, but for long-term consideration. Right now, the Aquapack product that ClearH2O makes is available in the United States. Down the line, we do anticipate extending that into the UK and into other markets as well. But for those of you that utilize a water pouch, you know that there's a valve that is required. And so the valve that's utilized on the market for the other various products, it essentially punctures the pouch that you saw here to provide a liquid for those rodents to access water. That valve is something that ClearH2O has redeveloped and redesigned, and it's compatible with other water pouch systems. So while it was developed for Aquapack, it works very well with other pouch systems. So if you utilize a pouch water solution and are familiar with this approach, this valve may be something that you might be interested in. Ultimately, what our valve has done is taken the original valve concept and provided additional durability. The new valve, the aqua valve, is blue in color. It has a metal lixit, which reduces, which I should say is resistant to chewing, which chewing with other valves on the market can result in excessive leaking and ultimately some challenges there as well. So we've developed a lixit that's made of metal to resist chewing, which reduces leaking within the cage. And additionally, ours is reusable. So you can reuse this valve 2 or 3 times. I have some institutions that are using it 3, 4 times, which will significantly save on the cost of consumables for your vivarium. So if you do utilize the pouch water solution, and you utilize something that requires a valve similar to the one that you see here, certainly feel free to reach out to us, reach out to the DateSand team. We do provide the Aqua Valve available right now. And the Aqua Valve will help save the institution significantly when it comes to cost, and then, of course, any damages or challenges resulting in chewing. So if that's something that you're interested in, by all means, reach out to us, and we're happy to help provide you with some samples to explore that as well. As I said, down the line, we do anticipate, looking at Aquapack as a solution for the other markets, but we just need to do some additional work to get there. So with that, I will say I'm certainly open to any additional questions. James, I don't know if there are things that have popped up along the way that I can help answer.
Yeah, we've had a couple of questions through. I think there was an issue with the chat box initially. So one of them is, would the hydrogel be a alternative to hydropacks?
Hydrogel, an alternative to hydropacks. So hydrogel is utilized as hydrogel can be used as a water solution, for an emergency water situation. In fact, many institutions utilize hydrogel as their emergency water supply. I have a number of institutions that have pallets of hydrogel sitting for use in case there's as part of their disaster relief plan. It has proven to be a good water solution through studies that we've done up to 30 days. We've seen no decrease in weight. If we're talking about a sole water solution for the duration, I think that I'd have some questions if we want to consider that. Now, the HydroPack system is a competitive system to us. Our AquaPack, that is the comparable type of product. So there's our hydrogel, which is our gel-based water solution used for transportation, used for weaning transition, and as a supplemental water within the cage. Our new AquaPack, that is a competitor to the HydroPack system. The Aqua valve that I shared with you today is the valve that can be utilized for those similar HydroPack and other style of water systems where a pouch is being used. Hope that answers that question.
Okay, and another question we've got is, have you seen any improvements with prenatal diet gel versus other breeding diets?
I can't speak to specific breeding diets comparatively at this point. We'd be more than happy to help support any research that or interest side by side comparison if you'd like to conduct that. Certainly feel free to reach out to me. I'd be interested in helping provide some prenatal product for you to do so. But side by side is not something that we've done, at least in the last couple of years, or research that I'm aware of at this point. Again, it's not to replace the diet. So prenatal really is designed as a supplemental tool. So if there are prenatal diets, I would say these should be likely be used hand in hand. But if you would like to do something with your prenatal diet and then add in the prenatal, our supplement along the way, again, I think that's probably the best application for that.
Okay, and we've got a question specific to opossums. So someone has said we often use the water cups when sending animals abroad. With our opossums who are omnivores and marsupials, would you recommend a particular product that could be used for enrichment during transportation?
That's a great question, and I don't want to speak out of line, so I would there are products, and I think we can bring it back to our product development and marketing manager here at ClearH2O. There are products that are used, so Forage, for example, was designed. Forage Fusion was designed in that capacity. Now, if it's being used for transport, you're then putting a cup inside that cage. There is a lab gel fusion, excuse me, lab gel banana, and then there's a lab gel forage that we could consider down the line for transport. But those are ultimately products that are designed predominantly for primates. But I'll take this back to our team to determine whether or not what the most appropriate was. And if you have some guidance on either palatability requirements or nutrient requirements, we can take that and compare that against those products that are typically used for transport.
Okay, and then we've got a question regarding packaging. So the cup packaging, is the plastic safe for animals, especially rodents? Is there risk of the animals consuming the plastics? And is there any future plan to create a more safe material?
On the future plan part, it is something that we, are always exploring what other options are available to us. Now, consumption of plastics, of course, this happens quite regularly, and has shown no negative implication to that because the product that we're using is all biomedical, excuse me, food grade and would be appropriate. Now, do we recommend consumption if they're starting to chew at it? Of course, take that out. But if they, a small part of it is consumed, there's no harm, no foul in that situation. But it's, something we can explore down the line. We're always looking at if there's other packaging options, if there's other recyclability products, options, etc. That's something we would have had part of our development cycle as well.
Okay, and is there an irradiated product option when irradiation is recommended?
So all of our cups are irradiated. So Fusion, Hydrogel, uh, any of those products that you see with respect to our cup design, those are all irradiated.
Okay, we've got a couple more, Luke. So would your prenatal gels be suitable to support rodent pups that have had to be weaned early due to dam sickness?
So yes, yes, absolutely, they would be appropriate. Um, if there, I would always, what sort of, how do I want to? I would always defer to the veterinary team to determine whether or not there's situations or scenarios where a product may or may not be appropriate or suited. But that's predominantly where this product is utilized. It is utilized um, prior to pairing, throughout, and then through the weaning process for all animals in the breeding stage. So it would be appropriate. Now it's up to your judgment or the veterinary team judgment as well as to whether or not there are situations or scenarios where it may not be appropriate as well.
Okay, and the final question we've got is, does Diet Gel Boost give a high amount of sugar, or does the Diet Gel prenatal?
Diet Gel Boost is going to have a higher amount of sugar. That is it's a high fat, high protein, excuse me, high fat, high energy product that uses peanut butter and molasses as the base. So it's really designed as a high calorie product. I would certainly recommend if you're ever want to look at specific nutritional profiles, we've got a comparative tool on our website as well. So when you go onto our website in the tools and resources, you can select multiple products and we'll show them up side by side and then compare one versus the other. And then all of our data sheets and nutritional information is provided on that website as well. So if there are ever questions like that, that'd be a great place to start. But you can also reach out to our team as well if you're looking to consider one product or another. When you're thinking about energy density, sugar levels, Boost is going to be higher than prenatal.
Okay, we've had another final question come in, so we'll just answer that one. So is there some kind of apparatus to serve the gel cup so the gel is off the bedding? So I can answer that one as well. So from the DateSan point of view, we've got the Nombrero and our Eco dishes. The gels are often served in. I don't know if Luke wants to add to that as
No, I would say those are the top two resources I would recommend. Absolutely 100%. The Nombrero and the cup holder have I get this question quite a bit, and it's quite often the best outcome, or excuse me, option available is that Nombrero for sure. There are other ways you could go about it, naturally, and I've seen others where it's hanging on the side, but those two solutions, in my opinion, are the best.
Okay, so I think that is everything. So I just want to say thank you very much to Luke for the talk, and for everyone who's attended and for all of the great questions that have been asked throughout. We've had through the raffle winner. It is Sean Wilson from the University of St Andrews. So that will be emailed over to you. So congratulations. If anyone would like a certificate for attending the talk today, there will be a link in the chat box that Sam has just placed in there now. So if you just register your details there, we will get a certificate of attendance out to you. So thanks again to Luke and you all for attending, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your days, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thank you.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.